Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. My name is DFree, and here today we are doing something that has probably never been done before, as far as I know. If I'm wrong, that's fair, but nonetheless, we are using a full Super Saiyan 3 category, but that's not all. We are using it in such a way that it's impeccable, right? It's crazy. Anyways, we are using a full-on Dragon Ball Heroes team. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit subscribe if you are new for more content like this. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you let me know in the comments down below by leaving a like on the video. Let's get up to 1,500 likes if you guys want to see some more wacky teams like this. It's still got the same general makeup, but it's still fun because it's themed, right? We have all these Dragon Ball Heroes units. Huge shout out to the Broly and the Vegeta, and then of course the GT Vegeta. Now, I do want to point out that of course, like, some of these units do have bleed over into different media contents, like, you know, Xenoverse and Raging Blast and all that stuff. But Heroes, man, Heroes is where it's at. All these units are at the bare minimum, not in the main, like, continuity of the show or things like that. They just kind of, or these characters, I guess, they kind of just trickled their way into the series through Heroes or other little games like that. So, of course, like I said, some bleed over, but you know, they're not the regular characters, so don't fight me on it, please. So let's go ahead and just get into it. So, by the way, what I'm going to do is shout out to the Sun family rotation here, plus Bardock, because not a Sun, but, I mean, it's fine. Well, I guess the Bardock family? Yeah, that's what we'll call it. So, anyways, we're going to get started here, and I'm going to have the father-son setups, and I'm going to float the Bardocks, and the Gotenks. So, we're going to go ahead and, in the meantime, talk about the units as well. But like I said, huge shout out to the Brolys and the Vegetas, and then the GT Vegeta as well. They just didn't make their way onto the team. Not because they're bad, but I just didn't want to use them. So we're going to actually take a super here. This is fun. Now, the Goku Xeno and Vegeta Xeno just came out. So I want to go ahead and talk about some of the older units a little bit here and tell you guys what they do. And then I'm going to circle back to the amount of orbs my units have, etc., etc. So the Goku. Let me actually start off with the Gohan, because he's here right now. He offers 2 ki and 60% to int types. There's no disparity there. He offers a supreme damage super attack and 6 turn attack raise. So that's pretty interesting there. If he starts getting, you know, a couple additionals or whatever the case is, he's fine. We do have the father-son rotation yet again, so we're just going to continue here. And then the passive skill for the Gohan is he gets 60% attack and defense at the start of the turn. And then whenever he performs a super, he gets an additional 60%. So keep in mind that mechanic. That's pretty much the same type of passive that the last year's units have, the Gohan and the Vegeta, or excuse me, the Gohan and the Trunks, and then the new units have the Goku and the Vegeta. So let's go ahead and transition over to Trunks. So Trunks, when he launches a super, 30% for 6 turns, defense raise. His leader skill, 2 keys, 60% for AGL types. Passive skill, 60% attack and defense. At the start of the turn, he disables the enemy's guard and has a high chance to guard against all attacks. Now, the guarding against all attacks is something that's important because that's the mechanic that the Goku has, and a couple of other units have it, but they pretty much just stole it from Janemba. It's the Janemba mechanic where Janemba can block against any type of hit and will never take type disadvantage damage, pretty much, long story short. So that's pretty much what Trunks has, but keep in mind he has a high chance to trigger it, meaning that when we talk about Goku, Goku is better at it than the Trunks is, so keep that in mind. But again, 60% at the start of the turn, defense raising super attack versus Gohan having the attack raising super attack. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Gotenks, who is actually the oldest unit on the team. So Goku did go ahead and get a stun there. Gotenks actually the oldest unit on this team. So a little bit of context for him. He came out and did not awaken upon coming out. He came out on, I believe, the very first ever Dragon Ball Heroes crossover banner on this game a few years ago, actually. So almost like, you know, what, 2.5, 3 years ago, whatever the case is. So, well, it's been about 2 years or so. Anyways, moving on. He actually now awakens to SS3. I believe his awakening came out when physical Gotenks SS3 came out. I could be mistaken, but nonetheless, anyways. Supreme damage and raises attack for 6 turns, just like the Gohan. We're going to go ahead and put the Trunks in the front spot and try to test his mechanic here really quickly. We're going to go for the STR Metacooler. By the way, they all look the same, but they're all different units. I mean, they got the LR, they got the AGL summonable Metacooler over there. They're going to kick my butt, bro. Like, I always kind of, like, take it for granted. It's like, oh, it's just a bunch of Metacooler faces. But, like, legit, they have some very, very big names over there, you know? I'm going to use this. We're fine. I don't really think it matters, but we'll see. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, supreme damage, 6 turn attack raise, 2 keys, 70% to tech types for the Gotenks. And then the passive skill, attack plus 100% when performing a super attack. So arrow will point down here if Trunks is utilizing his passive, which he is not. So therein lies the issue with units like Trunks and STR Ultimate Gohan, who have Janemba's passive, but it's situational. Which is why the Janemba and the Goku are the best ones. There could be someone else in there that's just as good that I'm not remembering, but nonetheless, moving on. So you guys saw what those units do. The oldest one, of course, is the only one that literally has no defense. So kind of shows the transition of this game. So we move on, and we're going to take a look at the Goku and the Vegeta. They're very, very similar units, but Goku's more of a defensive unit, while the Vegeta is more of an offensive unit. So the Vegeta, immense damage and greatly lowers defense for the opponent. That's the major difference with this year's units versus last year's units, because this year's units are actually pretty much just upgraded versions of last year's units, but they get immense damage. So let me actually do this rotation here, by the way. Yeah, the immense damage is a huge difference. It really matters a lot. So we are going to go ahead and swing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put you back in the front just to show your defense versus type disadvantage, I guess. And you can have this. Int orbs. There you go. And then lastly, you can go at the summonable AGL cooler. Like I said, still got some big names over there. But yeah, anyways, immense damage, great lowers the opponent's defense. Passive skill, attack and defense plus 80% at the start of the turn and disables the enemy's guard. Also, plus an additional 50% when performing a super attack to attack. So like he gets plus 50% attack boost, the Vegeta. Very powerful unit. Immense damage, upwards of 130 attack gain via passive, 80% defense. He's very good offensively. So then we talk about the Goku. Goku's pretty much the same, 80% at the start of the turn to attack and defense. Also the passive skill increases, like I said, 80% attack and defense, but also increases attack by 30% when performing a super. And then like I've talked about a few times, he guards against all attacks. So I felt like it would be a lot more, it would be better if I just kind of did the gameplay while explaining all that, because I know a lot of people have never seen some of these units before, right? And hopefully soon, global players specifically can actually utilize some of these units in the future whenever the game does get localized, and then hopefully the banners do come to global as well. So the major thing I want to talk about is the Goku. He has pretty much no orbs because I literally have no STR orbs right now. No medium STR orbs anyway. Also for the Gohan here, he has a nice amount, but of course only has one path open. And then other than that, the other ones are all rainbows. And the Gotenks at the very bottom, by the way, a couple of paths open. I literally just got a new one for him today, so that's pretty cool. So anyways, moving on. We are going to allow for Bardock, actually no, to get off rotation, by the way. I forgot that he's not supposed to be there. Oh, hey, looks like somebody's going to go ahead and heal. That's fun. I'm going to take you out before you heal. And we do have the Bardock passive support here, too, so that's really good for the attack game. Trunks is definitely going to need it. He is not the hardest hitting unit here. Did he actually finish him? He did. Okay, so 1.8 million for Vegeta. Okay, so now we move on to what is probably the final round. And by the way, guys, if you guys enjoy Dragon Ball Heroes, make sure you do check out the Tech Supreme Kai of Thickness Time, her showcase. She takes on Super Battle Road. See how that fares. You can check it out right now in the description. Otherwise, when you finish watching this video, final 20 seconds, that icon will be clickable. Also above that, we have probably the best banner ever on Dragon Ball Legends. A lot of people are starting to play the game. Well, you also start playing the game alongside with that banner. Let me know in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and jump into the final opponent, the final boss of this event. So we're going to go with that. We will go ahead and use this here. This guy likes to super a lot. Don't know if I really trust this rotation defensively, but we're going to find out. Not really, because, I mean, I used the item, but we're still going to find out. I mean, we have the best natural tank on the team, I guess, because it's passive, but the Goku has no orbs, so he's kind of shafted. So 16K with the item as well. So 1 million attack is actually really good for this setup. He gets to about 1.5 million with the Bardock on rotation, with pretty much all of his links active at 100%. I've done a few videos with him at 100% already. So Gohan came through with 1.8. By the way, the freaking Goku stun, by the way, so that's great. Bardock could potentially seal here if Cooler can be sealed, that is. Okay, so he can, and he did. That was a great rotation. Hey, Gotenks, remember how you were floating the whole video? Come through, my boy. I'm going to give you the Dokkan attack, actually. I'm going to give him the Dokkan attack. Let's go for it. If I can get it, I'm going to try. Yeah, we got it. We got it. We're giving it to Gotenks. So the thing about Gotenks is, by the way, he's the only one other than Bardock on this team that actually has an awakening. So the other units are locked at being level 100. So they do not have Fierce Battle. The Gotenks does, however. So, of course, the Bardock, he has it because he has a Dokkan event, but the others, they do not have it. All right, crit for me, crit life. Ah, no crit, but he does finish it. So he was forced to float the whole time, but I'll let him go ahead and finish it there. So there's that, everyone. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe if you are new for more content. Like I said, it's awesome to be able to do a team like this. I didn't really think this was going to be a thing, especially anytime soon. I remember last year thinking about like a full Super Saiyan 3 team, but there was just not enough units, really, unless I went out of my way to use the Vegetas and the Broly and stuff. But nonetheless, we are here, and we are here to stay. So I might come back and do a second part that does feature some of those other units that are, you know, like I said, the Vegetas and the Bardock, and then the Vegeta GT, etc. at some point as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below your favorite unit on this team that you aspire to get the most, if you do not have that unit as well. So anyways, have an awesome day, everyone. Thank you for the continued support here on the channel. The recommended videos are live on the screen as well. Have a great day, great weekend, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.